I thought I'd come out. We got such a big show here tonight that I was just sitting back there feeling kind of sorry that my folks back in Indiana couldn't see this color broadcast. It is well, we haven't got any color set out there, and in fact, we haven't got any TV set at all. We don't have well, we don't have nothing out there, to tell you the truth. Of course, there's quite a bit of it, and everybody gets in on it anyways. Don't feel that out. But I was tell you, around home there, we didn't really get much of this electronic stuff. We don't even today have too much of it. I know when I was a kid, we didn't have any of these electric stuff, washing machines and all that. In fact, well, we didn't even have inside plumbing there for quite a while. In fact, we felt kind of lucky to have 3 rooms and a bath. I'll tell you, it was, anyway, I was hoping to get a color television set the other day. I took a couple chances on one. There was a fella come around selling these chances on this TV set, but I didn't win it. In fact, we found out later the raffle was a little crooked. There wasn't any TV set at all. The way they worked it, if you'd win it, they give you your money back. That's about as far as they go. But the fact they had a nice consolation prize, they give you a list of the other losers. But if I'm going to see any color, I guess I'll have to see it for a while on the movie. I go to movies, since they got this new wide screen, I kind of get a kick out of it. The screens are a little bit too wide right now, I believe. I think they're going to have to do something about it. I seen a picture the other day. This fellow was standing on one side of the screen, and he threw a kiss to this girl on the other side. And I guess the screen was too wide. The kiss dropped on the ground right in the middle, and a horse stepped on it. Pretty discouraging, but my favorite movies that I like to go see is these science fiction movies where you have, well, I saw this one the other day that I thought was pretty good. It was, this hero was a scientist. In fact, he was a very smart scientist. It was, well, I'll tell you how smart he was. There's only 7 men in the world that understands Einstein's theory, and he could name all 7 of those fellas. He was well, he was a genius is what he was, and he was smart, too. He was, in fact, he'd always been working on this. He'd been in school, and he studied real hard. He worked his way through college, and he didn't have any money or nothing at the time, and he worked at a drive-in movie when he was going through college. He had a pretty good job there. What he'd do when the movie was about to close, well, he'd go around bang on the cars so the people would know the picture was over. And it was, well, it's possible. Anyways, he started inventing things as soon as he got out of school, and boy, you could see he was going to be a scientist. He started out by inventing a wonder drug, which was very powerful. It was one of these drugs that would cure anything. A little bit too powerful, in fact. You got to be in perfect health to take it. It was very but he started out on that, and while he was working in on his inventions, why, a funny thing started happening up on Mars. According to this movie, these fellows on Mars, these Martians, was sitting up there trying to figure out how to get to the Earth, and they'd been working on it for about 500 years, and they had it all figured out, but the fuel, they knew they could, they had enough fuel to get down here, but they wasn't sure they could get in from the airport. So they was sitting up there working on it, but anyways, they finally come down. The Martians landed, and they got down here, and they ran into a coal mine. They landed kind of far down in the ground, and they come up out of this coal mine, but they couldn't, they didn't dare come out. There was a coal strike on, and they didn't want to cross the picket line, so they sat down there a while. But their idea was, these Martians wanted to get down to Washington and capture President Ike. That's what they had in mind. But they had bad luck. They got down there during the golf season. So anyways, the Martians got kind of disgusted, and they left. They went to another planet somewhere, but on the way out, they were a little sore at us, and they gave the moon a shove, pulled it out of its socket, and they started zooming down towards the Earth like a bowling ball. Well, the scientist happened to see this. He was sitting in his laboratory, and he'd gone in there for a smoke. Well, he seen it first. He was the only fellow that noticed it, and he got right on his telescope, and he started looking at it, and he could tell that something was going on. In fact, he figured out with a lot of yardsticks and, rulers, he figured out the exact spot where the moon was going to collide with the Earth, And then, of course, he got very excited. It was a darn shame. He got so excited because he had his car parked right on that spot. Well, so he didn't know what to do. He's kind of excited. He decides he's going to build a big rocket ship, and he's going to leave here. He thought he'd go some other place. He'd always been a little bit peeved at the world. I don't know what the world had done to him. Something besides Liberace. I don't know what it was. But anyways, he got his rocket ship ready, but he couldn't get a crew. It was very hard to get a crew. Well, nobody believed that the world was coming to an end. It had been in all the papers, but nobody noticed it because it happened the same day that Arthur Godfrey fired one of his friends. So anyway, he finally got a crew. He got a fellow to be captain. He got a pretty tough guy to be a captain. This fellow was perfect for the job of a spaceman. He had the wanderlust in him, and he was kind of a dreamer and wanted to see faraway places. And actually, he was wanted for stealing cars and weehawking too, which was another drawback. But anyways, he got a pretty good crew together, and this captain was a terrific fellow. He had kind of a thirst for adventure too. In fact, he'd drink almost anything. He was that rough. But then the scientist had to make up his mind whether he was going to take his girl assistant along with him. He had this girl that worked in the laboratory with him, a very valuable assistant. She aided him in all of his experiments. He'd used her in almost every experiment he had because he couldn't afford any white mice. But she was a pretty nice girl. She had come to him. She was a scholarly kind of girl, always been reading a lot. She had kind of thick glasses that she wore when she was in school, and the fellows never liked to take her out. They'd take her out in the woods and a little picnic or something, and then if you'd try to kiss her, why, the sun would shine through her glasses and set fire to the leaves. Well, anyway, so she had come to him with a kind of an inferiority complex, and he kind of talked her out of it. He proved to her that she didn't have no inferiority complex at all. She was just kind of inferior, so anyway, they got all set to go to the moon, and they had quite I don't even know where they finally went. They got the rocket all ready. They was ready to go to either Mars or Venus or... they didn't know where they was going. It was a government project. That was the whole thing. We don't know where they went to. But I don't want to talk too long about it. If you want to see the rest of this picture, you'll have to catch up with me Saturday night. Night.